Good afternoon. Welcome to Monday, the 7th of December's Mindset Monday. And today I am very excited to introduce to you the extraordinary force of nature that I'm very, very lucky to have in my life, called Evette Franklin. This force of nature is an it. It's so strong. She's an it, though. She is so not an it. But she is an entrepreneur. She's a mother. She's an entrepreneur, and her life's purpose is to help people. Actually, partly it's gain financial independence, really, isn't it, Evette? And
Absolutely.
also she's through travel, of all things, and very importantly, she supports people like myself running a business, because she's a super organized, and she really gets systems and things, systemizing businesses and helping with social media, that sort of thing. So she does the two in parallel, as well as being a very inspiring mother, and I have to say, an awesome cook or chef, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to play the jingle. I have to talk my way through these things because I'm not familiar enough with the system yet. I will be. You won't recognize me in a year's time. I'll be woo. I'm going to play the jingle now that we've gone live, and then we'll be back with Evette Franklin, Mindset Monday. Evette's going to help us with secrets, her version of her way of finding a way through life using positive mindset, using growth mindset, and tell us about her journey of getting from maybe not having such a positive mindset to literally being, as I say, a force of nature now. Be back right after the break. Welcome back to Mindset Monday, where we're going to help you find ways, as through Evette's experience, on how to make your dreams come true, how to use a positive mindset to help you make your dreams come true. Does that sound like a good deal? Sounds like a good one to me. So please do join in, ask questions. If you're on Facebook or YouTube or any of the other places that this is going live, please do chime in, because I can see your comments, and we would love to hear from you with any questions. So I am just looking for my notes. Oh my goodness, I am so efficient. That's why Evette's so important to me, because Evette does work with me with Bubbly Maths, and she is efficient. So Evette is a mother, an entrepreneur who's passionate about travel, personal development, contribution, and entrepreneurship. As a business consultant, she helps people. As a business, this is different. This is creating extra income, which is online, global, and involves travel, which is brilliant. And then, travel is a bit virtual at the moment, but there you go. And also, she helps individuals like myself and teams to create simplified systems, communications, make them unique to their businesses, and I will testify to the fact that they make them more effective. So, and that's where, that's Bubbly Maths. She is full disclosure, she is my amazing partner in Bubbly Maths, and she takes care of, she's my angel. Right, we've got somebody else. Yeah, this is interesting. Somebody else is on. Evette, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, okay. I don't know. There's something else happening every week. It's so interesting. Every week there's something exciting happens. We've got somebody else on and they're talking and I can hear them. Can you hear them, Evette?
No, I can just hear your beautiful
Oh, hello,
tones.
Harry. Hello, Harry. Oh, wait. Oh, I thought I'd gone live. It says end broadcast. But I did, Harry, I did. I'm not live on Happy Maths. I should be live on Mindset Monday. Oh, so it's not me, it's you this time. Who's that with you? Who's laughing? I'm totally mystified, Harry. Okay, right. But I've done that. I promise you, I've done that. I know, but I have clicked go live. So I may not be live, but the point is I can't click go live because the only thing I've got to click is end broadcast. No, I'm hearing my own voice in my head now. Go to private chat. Go to private chat. Sorry about this, Evette.
Oh, it's all good. Technical difficulties.
Technical difference. Apparently, we're not live, but it looks live to me, but we're not broadcasting on StreamYard. Something.
Because I see, what do I see? I see live on the page, but it's not. It's just your picture. It's just the image, like the banner, but there's no.
That's true.
Video.
We're not on there. We're not on there. Yeah.
Do you want to stop and start again? What's the plan?
No, because I don't know what happens if I stop and start again. Harry says he's going to do private chat.
Okay, cool.
There's me. I go, and what I'll do is at 5, I'm going to go again. I'm going to go. So I might not have a chance to say, I'll have a chat afterwards. So I'll finish with you, say goodbye on air, and then go straight on to the other one.
Okay.
We are live. We are live. Hooray. Well, welcome to Mindset Monday on today, the 7th of December. And today we are, if you want to make your dreams come true and you're mystified and you find that things are really difficult, what we've got today's Mindset Monday really helps you achieve your goals by changing the way you think, by developing a growth mindset, a positive mindset. And today we have Evette Franklin, and she is going to share her secrets, how she has managed to overcome life's travails to become an incredibly effective and positive person who lives life and loves it. Straight after the break, we will be back with Evette Franklin. And straight after the break, which will happen any second now, because I have to find the right one to play. Right, and the break is going to be this delightful Relax Radio on Relax Radio, which is a community radio, and we have the wonderful jingle coming up right now.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us, 24 hours, and let the happiness continue on Relax Radio. On Relax Radio.
Welcome back to Mindset Monday. And today our guest is the amazing Evette Franklin. She's a mother, an entrepreneur, passionate about travel, personal development, contribution, and entrepreneurship. Her business consultant, she shows people how to create extra income, which is online and global and involves travel. And she also helps individuals such as myself with my Bubbly Maths company business and teams to create and simplify systems, communications, which basically improve our businesses. She's a partner in Bubbly Maths, my business, and so our business. And she also does some very interesting work with a very exciting organization involving young women in disadvantaged communities all around the world. And she's going to tell us all about it. First, we're going to delve into the secret to success in life. In order to do that, we're going to find out a little bit more about Evette and her background. What was life like, Evette? Welcome, first of all, I beg your pardon. Welcome, Evette, to the show. How rude. And thank you for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about your early life and what your mindset was like as you evolved in your life experience?
Well, thank you for having me, Caroline. It's happy to be here with you. I don't know where to start now. I came here when I was 10 years old. I'm born and bred in Jamaica.
Yes, but what happened before you were 10 years old? I'm very interested in this story. That's a very interesting part about why you weren't here till you were 10. Go on, sorry.
I was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and I grew up with my grandparents there until I was 10 years old. And then I came to London to live with my mummy. My grandparents are awesome. We've since lost my grandfather, but my grandmother's alive. And I had just an amazing childhood with them. We were so in love, the three of us. And we lived, my uncle lived with us, and my uncle, well, we obviously didn't know at the time. He has what we know now is Asperger's syndrome. But obviously at the time when he was growing up, they didn't know that. And when I was growing up, they didn't know that. But they know that now. So he basically has always had the mind of I can see you now.
Yes, I just realized what I had to do.
Hello. He's always had the mind of a young person, but he's like in his 60s now and still has that, child mindset because of his mental, what's the correct word? I don't know. His mental way of being. Yeah.
Nice. Mental way of being.
I'm labeled, so I don't consider him disabled, so I wouldn't use that word.
Yeah, mental way of being. Love it.
Yeah. So I grew up with him and my grandparents, and like I said, we were all very in love, and I had a great childhood. And then I came to London when I was 10 years old with my funny accent and my very different way of being. And I think I realized that I was a very fiery person when I came here because I was always very defensive. It was the first time in my life I was deemed to be so different. I didn't think the way people thought here. I'm not a typical Jamaican, and I didn't fit in. I think it was the first time in my life I realized that I didn't fit in a certain status quo. And that made me quite aggressive, quite fiery as a person. So I'd bite your head off in a heartbeat. It was one of those, I was one of those, eat them before they eat you.
I think you still are a bit fiery, Evette. You're a bit scary sometimes.
Yeah, but it's the intention of it is different now. Whereas I felt like I always had to defend myself and prove that I don't care what you think about me. This is what it is, and F you and the horse you rode in on. And only 10 years old, so it was important for me to simulate. And the easiest way, we were having this conversation with a friend of mine who grew up in Pakistan and went to Los Angeles about the same age that I was. And she said the quickest way to simulate when you were a child was to get the accent and sound like that.
Right. Okay. Not become a Borg then. We don't go to simulate becoming a Borg. Actually, it is a bit like that though, isn't it? You have to modify yourself to.
Yeah.
It is a bit like the Borg that you do have to modify yourself. It's just that it's kind of not, you don't get implants and things.
Yeah, no implants.
Psychological ones.
Psychological implants.
So this created a less than growth mindset. I mean, you adapted. Adaptation's good, but
yeah, well, I think children do.
Yeah, I suppose that you have to, don't you? Otherwise, that's kind of normal human behavior. So this is all about so I want to hear. So you were aggressive. You weren't as happy as you were in Jamaica. And then you, as you grew older, I know you went to university. You studied art. What kind of art did you study?
Was it fine art painting?
It was fine arts.
It was fine art painting. I first went to Chelsea School of Art and Design, and then I went to university in Wolverhampton and painted for 3 years. Which again, in my family was. What does that mean? What is she doing? My family is very academic, so there are nurses and engineers and politicians and doctors. There are no artists.
For me, I'm just in awe. I'm in awe of someone who can go to university and paint for 3 years. I'm totally in awe of that. We've got engineers and things in our family as well. So, okay, so in terms of your mindset, I'm looking for a point at which maybe there was a shift. Yes, you had the aggressive. Was that the aggressiveness still there when you were at university?
Yeah, definitely, because I still had that feeling of not fitting in, not being what people assumed I was going to be because of where I came from. And kind of, I think I labeled myself the black sheep of my family. That's quite funny because I think at the time I owned it quite a lot, but I think that's a label I gave myself and then found evidence, of
right.
So family treated me and how to kind of validate that label that I created for myself.
Sounds like you've done 2 shifts. You shifted from a happy-go-lucky Kingston resident to not so happy-go-lucky British UK resident, let's say. And then this is when you moved in with your mother. I know she's a huge influence on your life. Tell us about your relationship then and now.
Well, then was interesting because she's a single mom. She had me when she just turned 16, which is why I grew up with my grandparents, and she came back to London to finish her education and get a good job, as we're all told to do. And when I was growing up, I thought that she was just this before you knew what bipolar was, I just thought she was crazy. I thought she was so intense. She was so again aggressive. There was no room for error, no room for, she was loving in her way, but discipline was very important. And there was no room for error. But then at the same time, education wise, she would allow me to do whatever I wanted. She was like, just do whatever makes you happy, so
okay.
I was allowed to do art and English and but they were like, I think it was funny. I think now that I'm a mother myself, I think I understand it in a different way. I think she was parenting in the very strict way that she was parented by my grandparents. and then at the same time discovering her own way of doing it. That's why I had both. I had this very strict kind of no, do not divert from this path, and this kind of, but do what you love, because she was learning that do what you love stuff, but she grew up with the this is how it is.
Now, I know that when your grandparents said to you, do not do this, they didn't say it like that.
No, they didn't.
Evette it's one of the many things I love about Evette. She talks with this beautifully correct English, but she also speaks patois. So she speaks like the downtown Jamaican, just like the next one, and I just love it when she slips into it. So I'm hoping she'll accidentally slip into some patois at some point here. And quote her grandmother verbatim. That'd be lovely.
Yeah. My favorite thing about my grandmother, I hated the cold for a start, and I still do. I've gotten the knack of wearing correct clothes. And for years, we would never complain about being cold, because if you complained about being cold, my grandmother would always say, "You're not cold, you're inappropriately dressed."
There you go. Whoa. Well, there you go. That is true. That is so true. So, so tell us one experience that led you to living with a growth mindset.
Ooh. I don't think it's one thing. I think it's lots of little things.
Tell us some stories. Tell us a few stories. We'd love to hear how you go from being what did you call yourself? What did you call yourself? Those
like a
fiery, grumpy teenager to being
fiery, bitchy, don't mess with me.
To being somebody who is hungry to learn and always hungry to because I know I've heard you say several times, thank goodness for personal development, because before you would have reacted in a completely different way. So I'd love to hear some of the stories of how you used to react. Was there a life what do you call it, occurrence, event that that changed your
I think there's lots of them. I remember, so because my mother was such a young mother, she was going through her own growth and development as I grew up, and I saw that. And I think by the time I was early 20s, she was giving me certain books, and certain books to read. She gave me a copy, actually, funny story. She gave me a copy of what's that T. Harv Eker book, The Millionaire Mindset, or something like that?
I think it's The Millionaire Mind. I don't know.
Mind.
I know, yeah, T. Harv Eker, Millionaire Mind. If you look for that, you'll find it, yeah.
And it was like a special edition and stuff. And I actually went to one of his seminars, and kind of did the whole course, absolutely loved it, realized I had a relationship with money. What a concept. And all this behavioral stuff. And then realized that I found this book on my bookshelf. And granted, by that point, I'd lived already in maybe 5 different countries and moved 8 times. So it was obviously stuff that kept coming with me. That book would end up kind of in my stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I lived in the same house for this whole time. And this book was there. It was like this book followed me around for years until I went to that seminar and realized what that book was and opened it up and read it. And then it had all this realization, all that thing. And I think what I realized is that my mother planted seeds because she's just a very smart lady. So she planted seeds, and along the way, when I was ready, I would pick up the seed. I would pick up whatever little plant was there or whatever seedling was there and take it for myself and use it. And that, And the same with she was always inviting me to seminars and stuff, and I wouldn't go. But then my friend Donna invited me to my first ever seminar in Alexandra Palace. I can't remember this guy's name, and I went, and it was amazing, and it was transformative. And I think the main thing is just the first thing is self-acceptance. Yes, the Millionaire Mind.
That's Paul Stanley. We're looking for T. Harv Eker.
That's different. Yeah.
T. Harv Eker. It's different. Let me see if I can find it. Go on, Evette.
Self-acceptance and realizing that who you are is okay. So there's lots of different. There was another time, definitely kind of the whole entrepreneurship thing began with network marketing. I joined a network marketing company now 10 years ago. I didn't know, like the Charles Ecker book taught me about financial education. Network marketing taught me about not just going to a personal development event, which is where I met you, actually.
Yes, indeed. In the present, when we actually met in the presence of Richard Branson.
Sir.
Literally. Oh, excuse me. I don't think he buys into that very much. I don't think he's bothered about that. I don't know. Yes. Okay. So Richard Branson. We actually met in his presence. We were in the same room. Okay. It was a big auditorium, but nonetheless, we were in the presence of this very powerful character, very charismatic person. So that's a good way to meet, wasn't it?
Excited about taking his flight to space.
Oh yes, that's gone. That's restarting, by the way. In case if you hadn't heard, that is definitely restarting. They're on the way to the next attempt, the next trials and things. So that's never give up, ever. So, we found it. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Mastering the Inner Game of Wealth. That's the one. T. Harv Eker. That's the one. So everybody read that, and then you will be successful in life, because it's definitely, I know that you've told me stories. I haven't witnessed that much. That used to be quite grumpy in some situations. I'm going to put it that way. And and now I've heard you say, oh, thank goodness for personal development, because your reaction to these occasions are totally different.
Perfect one. And a lot of it is to do with books. A lot of it is to do with books and books, people, and what I listen to. What's around me has had a huge influence, kind of. For example, so I have joint custody of my son with his father. And now my son's 13, and me and his father have an amazing co-parenting relationship, really respectful, really healthy. I think we show our son that even though his dad and I aren't together, we are there for him as parents, and we respect each other. And our main concern is what's best for him, and we're going to come together always and do that as parents. It never used to be that way. When I found out I was pregnant, we'd already been broken up for a couple of weeks or months or whatever. So that was fun. And then throughout my pregnancy, I literally had this feeling, this is how angry and like angst I was, that this person was breathing just to piss me off. And so a friend of mine gave me a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay. And again, it's not the first time someone had mentioned it, sent it, told me about it. I actually never read it because I thought, what an arrogant, stupid title. Like, who are you to tell me?
My reaction was exactly the same to the title.
And, whatever. But for some reason, I was willing to read that book at that particular time. And we were going through a very difficult phase of our custody agreement and court, and it was right at the beginning of it, so it was not pretty. It was emotional, it was stressful, it was angry, I was at the height of my fighting game, you know, like, come at me. And I'm reading this book. And as I go into one of our many mediation meetings, I'm at the chapter of this book that's talking about seek to understand before you can be understood. It's something like that. And I'm reading this chapter, and part of it is just when you're in communications with people, listen first and aim to understand where they're coming from, see their perspective, sit in their shoes before you even say anything else. And
there is, thanks, Terry. That's the one.
As I'm reading it, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, that's bullshit. Like, I literally don't care what you think. I don't care how you feel. And I'm not in the least bit interested in about, you know, I don't care. I'm not doing that. But then something clicked inside me and I went into the meeting and I did it. I just shut my big mouth, switched off the attitude and listened. And I heard his perspective for the first time. And when I saw myself and my behavior from his perspective, I understood not all of his behavior, but I understood some of his behavior. And that was the beginning and a huge shift for me. I mean, I talked to like a group that I belong to, where we talk about progressive parenting, and they're always asking about, you know, how do you start that healthy co-parenting relationship? And it's like, well, someone has to stop arguing. And I was the biggest fighter. So someone has to stop arguing. Someone has to change. People don't suddenly change. One of them changes and behaves differently, and then the other person responds to your new way of being and behaving and talking. And then things happen. And that's just one of the many examples of like just moments that books give me that I then take into my life. And you know, I got another one. Another Bible of mine is
I'm going to just put you on pause for one moment. Hold on to that thought, because we're going to find out another. So we've had just someone has to stop arguing. You've had the relationship with money, and now we're going to discover what the third revelation was for Evette after the break. We'll see you shortly.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us, 24 hours, and let the happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio. Relax Radio.
I'm looking forward to having some of the new presenters on that little video there, because we've got quite a lot of new presenters, myself included. So I'll be looking forward to qualifying to be on the reel there. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back to Mindset Monday, where we're discovering the secrets to where the way you think actually can literally spell success or failure in your life. If it make you unhappy, happy, and it is a choice. It is a conscious choice. And so far, I've had 2 books recommended. One is the How to Win Friends and to Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and the other was T. Harv Eker, and I don't remember the name. I didn't write the name of the title, but it's
Millionaire Mind.
Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. I'm going to write them both down now. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. And that's what Evette is talking about, the books that have made such a huge impact on her. And I would highly recommend that you read these books. I certainly have read How to Win Friends and Influence People, and it has changed not just my personal relationships, but every relationship. Mm-hmm. It sounds as though you're going to coerce people, but that's not it. You're actually, it's the opposite. You're being the consummate diplomat. This book teaches you how to be the consummate diplomat, so that yes, things work out, but it allows you to realize that your way may not be the best way, and you it's a two-way, it opens two-way communication. Please tell us the third story.
Yeah. And just another thing on that as well, Caroline, I think those kind of books, that particular book, is probably even more important in the time that we're living now, because we live in such a kind of like I'm right and you're wrong, a world of absolutes, kind of like this is absolutely right and this is absolutely wrong, and I believe this, and for me to believe this, I make you wrong. And then there's no room for a conversation. So, for there to be room for a conversation, you just have to sit in whatever you believe is right or wrong, and then allow other people to sit in theirs and then communicate between the two.
Right, yes.
The third book is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz.
The Four Agreements. I'm going to write them all down. If you wouldn't mind, Evette, afterwards actually sending me these afterwards, and I'll put them. At least I can do it on the YouTube one, and put that in as references. Don Miguel Ruiz. Don Miguel
Ruiz. Yeah.
Okay. Please tell us about the four agreements.
Another book that followed me around. Friends kept telling me about it. It turned up in my flat a couple times from nowhere. But then I was like, okay, fine. And I read it. And the Four Agreements are really simple. I won't go into all four of them, but the one that really, and that I still live my life by today, is do not take things personally. It sounds like something really simple, but as someone who realized quite recently what a judgy person she could be.
You?
Me, judgy. Can you imagine? That's a whole other story, but just not taking things personally. Because if someone comes up to you one day and tells you, oh, Caroline, you look spectacular today. Okay, yeah, you might look spectacular today, but that's not why they're telling you. That's because today they're feeling great. And they feel that sense of feeling great with you because you happen to be there. And if it was someone else, they might share that feeling with them. And if they come to you and say, oh, today you're being a total Caroline, that doesn't mean that you suddenly change your character and you are a complete bitch today. It just means that that's their filter for the day, is I'm annoyed and I've just put myself in front of a person and I'm going to chuck my annoyed at them. I'm going to mirror my annoyed at them.
So you're saying I can't take you looking. You're saying I can't take you're looking fabulous literally. I've got to take it with a pinch of salt, just as I would if somebody said, "You're really annoying me today." Exactly. You actually react in the same way. Just okay. That's not that. I'm glad you feel that way, rather than I must be the most beautiful person on the planet, or I must be the most miserable person. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think you have talk about things coming into your life repeatedly. I think you have mentioned that book to me, and I don't think I've ever picked it up. So
you can get it on Audible.
Useful. Yeah, Audible. I love Audible. I will. It's the Four Agreements. There it is. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Okay, brilliant. Right, that's 3. Oh, and there they are. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Oh my goodness, I can vouch for quite a few situations where yeah. And always do. Yeah, Harry's awesome. We love Harry. He's our. And always do your best. Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Harry. And words to live by, literally. And these are your keys to success. I think that's a good moment. Well, let's just no, actually we have time for one more before the next break. So do you have maybe another book? This is great. You're giving us these great books. We want to become successful in whatever form that means to you. Follow Evette's advice. Read these books.
Well, as well as the books, for me, it's been people also. and it's something that that I was saying earlier, that the network marketing world introduced me to, was that I didn't want to just have these seminar friends, these people, these mindset people. When I went to a seminar, I actually wanted those kind of people in my life. And then I just started to, it's like when you make a decision, and then once you make that decision, those things start to happen. And then I attracted people like you into my life. I attracted people like, my best friend Carol, and another great friend, Tom Zulu. So I start, like, literally my friendship circle are people who have a growth mindset, are people who are positive, thinkers. And they're not because a lot of people feel like positive thinking is a bit of a nonsense. It's like a first world luxury, and it's fluffy and la la. And I'm like, okay, if you choose to choose that, that's fine. But my experience is that the positive mindset is powerful. It served me so well in my life. And if you take the situation that we're in now in the world for the last 7-8 months, if I didn't have that positive mindset, and if I didn't have those people around me, including, like, I do capoeira, and my capoeira master and his wife on our group, same thing, positive mindset, growth mindset people, every day, all day.
Yeah. So it's the people that
since 9 years old. It's the people.
So it's surround yourself with the right people too. So if you surround yourself with people that are constantly negative and think things are impossible and just life is rubbish, then you're going to experience, or you're going to have a lot harder time extracting yourself from that than if you surround yourself by people who believe that growth is not only possible but is something that you do every single day. And I've got this lovely friend in South Africa, and she has this lovely expression she uses. She says, "I choose happiness." She put a post on Facebook a couple of days. Yeah, and she was having a bad day. She was in an official office, in a government office, and she said, "Oh, it was just horrible. I was having an awful day, and then I decided to choose happiness." She chose happiness, and it literally is a choice, and it literally transformed the whole situation. So it is possible. You don't have to live that. And this is absolutely brilliant, Evette. Thank you. All right. Okay. Well, after the break, we are going to find out more about Evette's various projects, how you can get in touch with her, and that will be after if I press the right button. I'm very good at this. Every week I'm getting better and better at pressing the right buttons. We'll see you right after the break.
It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. It's time for a show on Relax Radio. It talks about me and you. So listen to us, 24 hours, and let the happiness come to you on Relax Radio. Tune in to Relax Radio. Relax Radio.
Welcome back to, I'm just going to flash it for a moment, Mindset Monday. Today we're with Evette Franklin, who is sharing her secrets, sharing her journey to how she's gone from someone who was quite stressed by the sounds of it and quite sharp with people and not very growth minded, to someone who I can testify to the fact that she grows every single day and looks for the good and looks for the learnings. And now we're going to find out, and she's been sharing that with us. She shared some books with us, so we're going to put those in the links in the description after the show's over. Now we want to find out more about what you do. Thank you for sharing your learnings with us. We want to know more about what you do, and I'm just looking for my list here. So the first thing you've got on the list, tell us about. I'm not going to name it. I'm going to let you do it. Your what you call your, oh dear, your oh dear. No, I've lost it. I apologize. Here we go. What you call it as a business consultant. That was it. That was the expression you used. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So as a business consultant, I work under the name of La Única, which is Spanish for the unique one. And basically, because I believe one thing I've learned in my journey as a business consultant in so many different ways is that everyone can bring their own unique spin on things. Like, for example, like this radio program, for example, I'm sure you've got lots of different hosts. And even though you all follow the same format, you bring your uniqueness to your show. And I know our mutual friend Dominique is another host, isn't he? And he brings his uniqueness to his show. So I feel
Yes.
like in your life, in business, in whatever you're doing, in the martial art that I do, I bring my uniqueness to it. And I think that's really important because that's part of what separates you and also allows you to attract the right people to your business and in as an extension to your life as well.
Okay. Yes. Well, I certainly testify to that working for the work you do with me, and what about you talked about network marketing. You have, and by the way, the links to contact Evette are in the description. If you feel that she would be helpful for you in your business, please do contact her. You also have this network marketing endeavor, which I know is where you get most of your positive, your growth mindset contacts. I mean, the people that you know across the world is absolutely mind-blowing. And the buzz you get from communicating with them and connecting with them throughout lockdown. Evette's been on Zooms with people all around the world and just come away like flying on a cloud, floating on a cloud. So I know it's been hugely beneficial during lockdown. Please tell us about that.
Definitely. Yeah, it's the power of people, isn't it? Again, and who you surround yourself with. So the business itself is about travel and lifestyle. And even though travel is going through a hiccup at the moment, what they've done is they've expanded we say champions adjust, right? Life happens and you adjust. And even though the change might be sad, you still get to choose adjustment as well. So we have more lifestyle products now. We have more products now to do with health and wellness and beauty, as well as a travel product. So it's expanded. They've adjusted the time. Travel wasn't working for everyone, and even now people can travel, but not everybody's comfortable with it. But they
what's that expression they use? It's a pivot.
Yes.
Please name them. What is the name of the organization or whatever it is you want to do for people to contact you?
So you'll have all my details in the link, and we can have a chat about the organization and what the products are and the travel and lifestyle aspect that's there for you. The other thing that I do is I'm a board member of an organization, a nonprofit called Global Girl Project. Founded by one of my heroes in life, and again about attracting just amazing people around you. Julia Lynch is the founder and director of Global Girl Project, and she is just, if you think I'm a force of nature, Julia's like next level force of nature. And it's a project where we work with young girls from developing countries, not just developing countries, within their country. They come from really isolated places. They're girls that in their cultures, they have no voice. They have no, they're not even allowed to have opinions sometimes. And so we run programs for them. It used to be an exchange program back in the day when we traveled. And now it's actually what we call a blended learning program that's delivered online to a facilitator in 5 countries at the moment. And then the girls get together with that facilitator locally in their country, in Haiti, Nigeria, South Africa, Jordan, and I can't remember if I've forgotten any more. But you can find this online at Global Girl Project, and it's just fantastic work. And for me, the aspect of traveling and culture, like I truly believe that the more we actually traveled, the more we would see each other as humanity and see that whereas there are a lot of differences, there are also a lot that connects us.
So I'm interested in stories. I know that you have these wonderful girls have co-written a book with the help of the Global Girl Project. Can you tell us? This book is available now for sale.
Yes.
It just was released recently. So
I'm gonna go get it.
oh right, we're going to go get the book. Hold on, I'll just appear for a moment while Yvette's going off to get the book. We're going to hear some of the stories. Hopefully, can you choose a couple of excerpts to read about more than I'm going to make you lead again. Go on. Oh, that's me. Sorry. That's not it. So don't just pause there for a moment, Yvette. Oh, I've got to do it that way. There we go. There you go, Yvette. Go.
Which is for More Than One Voice, and it's 8 girls who are graduates of the actual exchange program. So they traveled to the United States when we were in the United States, and then in the last 2 years, like so 2018 and 2019, we went to Nepal. So they traveled to Nepal. They were there for 8 weeks, and they do a leadership, community development and social change program. So in this particular book, the girls are from our first ever exchange graduate was from Brazil, from the favelas of Rio. She grew up there. And now, not just now, but she has been for years run her own favela football program with girls. There are girls here from Pakistan, from Sierra Leone, from Haiti, and it's just them sharing their incredible stories. I loved it. It's a small book, so you can read it. You know, I read it. And I said, "Oh, there it is! It's great."
He's lovely, brilliant. Love Harry
on the sofa. And I think it's a book, you know, our aim is that girls from all over the world can read these stories and be inspired by them and realize the connection that we all have.
Could you choose an excerpt to share with us and read it? Because I don't have a copy of the book yet.
To read it?
Please. Or paraphrase it. But if you can read it, that would be amazing. I know it's putting you on the spot.
Isn't it? Okay, let's see. This one is Ashleka from Haiti, and she's 19 years old, born in Port-au-Prince in Haiti in the Caribbean. And she just talks about the difficulty of, you know, they live in a very neglected area, and how as a girl she's just not seen. She's not seen, she's not heard, she's not relevant as a girl. She ended up being able to move and live with family so that she could study, and through there got connected with a foundation that works with young girls in Haiti. And then that foundation partnered with Global Girl Project so that she was chosen, her and another girl from Haiti were chosen to go on the program. And if you think about it, like, these girls have never left their country. They've never traveled. Like, so if they come from a really small village, they've never even been to their capital.
And from what you've told me in the past, that it's actually those girls for them to attend what used to be live events, they had to travel to those events, and that was actually quite perilous for them. Then they would. Can you tell us?
Absolutely.
You know,
So during this period of the pandemic, they were in Haiti, and they were doing the blended learning program, and they have to go to a center. So 20 girls have to meet at a center, and then the facilitator, the work is online, and the facilitator delivers the course. But in a place like Haiti, there's been civil unrest, there's been violence. They can't stay at the center too late, so it's perilous for them to get there, because they could get caught up in crossfire or violence or just unthinkable things. And then they can't stay too late, because these are like 12, 13, 14-year-old girls. And they travel together so that they're safer, but they have to get home safely. So
and yet they still keep going.
They still keep going. They absolutely love it. They learn so much. I mean, we get feedback videos from them and from the facilitators about what the course has meant to them. What communicate, because they have to do a project that's relevant to their community, that can create change in their community. So it's not that old model of these very smart Westerners going along and telling you what's wrong with your community and how you can fix it. But it's us saying, giving them the tools and asking them what's going on in your community that you see that if you could fix it would benefit the greater good. And that's what they go home and do.
How great is that? So I would say that is key to your mindset, is not only getting along with other people, not only taking what they're saying, not taking what they're saying personally, but also doing that giving back, like Evette is thinking about other people and taking action and supporting a very powerful organization that is changing lives. And I think that is also a very critical part of the whole matter. We have 1 minute left, Evette. What is one piece of wisdom that you'd leave our listeners with? Not putting you on the spot or anything,
Oh, one piece of, I know, anything. I would say just remember that you can always choose, like choices, like choices. Every single thing that happens in your life, every single relationship you have, every situation that happens. Okay, so this happens, what choices do I have? Whether that choice is how I respond to it, or that choice is what do I decide that this means to me, or that choice, but choices. Always remember that you have a choice, and your power is in making that choice, and that choice is your business to make, and that it's the right choice for you, because no one can live your life for you.
Brilliant. Choose. I don't know what I've just done. Hold on. I was preparing for the next show and it just didn't work. So let's forget that. Thank you, Evette. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your wisdom. And oh my goodness, it's so true. Choose. You choose the way you think. You choose the way you live, and choose the people that you live with. Absolutely. Revelational. Thank you so much, Evette. And the links will all be, certainly I know on the YouTube, the links will be there, and we'll be adding, I can add to the YouTube link, the one on my YouTube channel, I'll be adding to that, and to send all those lovely books, and this one too, More Than One Voice, Please Evette, and the link to where they can buy it and where they can donate to Global Girl Project, all of that, and I'll put it all on.
Yep.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you. I'll see you soon. I hope to have you on again. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, and see you in the next hour. Right now, we're coming with Happy Maths Hour, and hopefully next week Evette will be on Happy Maths Hour with us. Fingers crossed.
Amazing. Yes, to play some maths game. by the way, terrify me a little bit, which is a good reason to go do it because it's scary.
Exactly. Thank you so much. See you next week.